Well, hello everybody and welcome to Vinyl Treasures. I'm your host, Johnny G, John Galindo, coming to you live each and every Saturday only here on Top Shelf Oldies. I want to welcome you to the March 20th, 2021 Vinyl Treasures show with all 1950s and early 60s 45s out of my collection. Got to apologize for being late. I am sorry. I am late. You must forgive me. I'll make it up on the tail end of the overtime, I guess, but had really a difficult week here because I tried to set up my second turntable, was having trouble with the extension wire. It didn't reach, and then it gave me that terrible hum. There's actually a whole hour YouTube video on there that shows that nagging hum, but thanks to George Tompkins, got it all ironed out. Thank you to my technician George for his assistance, but believe it or not, cables have a lot to do with it. Anyway, we opened up tonight's Vinyl Treasure show with a B-side to the Gone All-Stars, which was saxophonist Buddy Lucas's band. The flip side of the Gigi Walk, it was a song called Hoppin' Bop, but I featured it off of a Gone EP. It was called Dancin' Bandstand. Pretty sure it's probably the first EP that George Gallner put out on the Gone label. But for a short time, the Gone All-Stars, they were the house band for George Gallner, I think, with some of the Gone acts. Anyway, but this one from March 58, the Gone All-Stars, Hoppin' Bop on the Gone label. Well, enough of my babbling here. Let's open up the vocal portion here. Lots of requests, lots of flip sides from last week, and some rarities too. So let's go here. We open up the vocal portion with a B-side that was requested last week by Nat Papagallo, a song called Through the Years by a group called the Montereys. Actually, it was Dean Barlow and the Montereys. Came out on Jerry Winston's Onyx label, but the lead on that was Ed Jordan. But let's give a listen to the A-side here, side that I used to hear on oldie radio back in the early 1970s here. Features Dean Barlow on lead. It's with band leader Sammy Lowe and the orchestra. We open up July 57 on Onyx with Dean Barlow and the Montereys with a song called Dearest One.
Dearest one, I know I done you wrong, baby, please forgive me, and darling, come back home. Welcome, dearest one, you know I'd rather die, didn't mean to hurt you, or even make you cry. Understand, baby, won't you please? Didn't mean to hurt you, just wanted to tease. So give me just one more chance, and I'll never play with romance. No, dearest, please let me be your king, your king. You know how much I love you, and what you mean to me. Understand, baby, won't you please? Didn't mean to hurt you, just wanted to tease. So give me just one more chance, and I'll never play with romance. No, dearest, please let me be your king, your king. You know how much I love you, and what you mean to me. Shake, lang, boo, 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 dearest one. Whoa, whoa, dearest one. Whoa, whoa, dearest one. Whoa, whoa, shake, lang, boo, 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 boo. Shake, lang, boo, 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 boo.
Yeah, we open up the vocal portion there with Dean Barlow and the Montereys. July 1957, Jerry Winston's Onyx Records for that one. Dearest One is the name of the tune. I have that on a cool 78 also. Plays pretty nice on a 78 and a 45 too. As we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, we open up with a couple of up-tempos here. Let's stay in 1957 with another B-side here to the biggest hit for this group, Richard Blandon and the Dubs. A 45 that my Aunt Mary purchased in the summer of 1957 was the group's second release on George Goldner's Gone label. It's like a twin, well, it's not a twin spin on Gone, almost, but the biggest hit for the group was a song called Could This Be Magic? But here is the flip side of that from August of 1957. Give a listen to the Dubs on the Gone label. The song is called Such Lovin'.
Such loving, such loving, such loving, baby, 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 loving. I love you, baby, that's all I want you to know. Such loving that you give to me, such loving I can hardly see. Such loving, baby, baby, loving. So much love. I love you, baby, that's all I want you to know. So much love. Such loving that you give to me, such loving I can hardly see. Such loving, baby, baby, loving. I love you, baby, that's all I want you to know. Such loving, so much love. Such loving, so much love. Such loving, baby, baby, loving. So much love. I love you, baby, that's all I want you to know. So much love. Such loving that you give to me, such loving I can hardly see. Such loving, baby, 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 loving. I love you, baby, that's all I want you to know. Such loving that you give to me, such loving I can hardly see. Such loving, baby, baby, loving. So much love. I love you, baby, that's all I want you to know. So much love. Such loving. Such loving. Such loving, baby.
Johnny G gonna get caught a lot tonight. Let me just line this up, folks. Sorry about that. It's kind of tough when you're doing 17 things at once. That's a cool B-side there. That's a 45 that my aunt played both sides of that record there, but those are the Dubs. Richard Blandon and the Dubs, their second release on George Goldner's Gone label, August 57. Such Lovin' is the name of the tune. Now, the group performed, I know they performed Could This Be Magic on Dick Clark's. They lip sync that song. I'm sure a lot of times they would do both sides of the record, so I would bet that they played the other side of this. And the record started taking off once they made their appearance on American Bandstand, and as a result, he kind of said to George Gold, George, but I played this record on my show, and you got to give me a credit for that. So you got to change your Real Gone publishing, and you have to put my publishing company on there because I need to make money on that record. So he changed Real Gone Music, became Sea Lark Music, and therefore Dick Clark was getting a piece of the pie. So if you own a copy of that record, Could This Be Magic, check your publishing. If it says Real Gone Music, you have the true first press. If it says Sea Lark, That's when Dick Clark started getting paid and the record started taking off to become a big hit for the Dubs, but still a great two-sided 45 as I see it. But anyway, Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. We count down the music chronologically here, and this next 45 came out in January of 1953. It's an ultra rare 45, as this group is from Philadelphia, PA. They were discovered by Jerry Halpin and Ed Krenzel, who signed them to their label. Southern Records was the Southern label. That's the label that this is on, and this was their debut single, and it features the lead of Ernest Sonny Smith. This one from January 53. Give a listen to the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers on the Southern label. This is what they call, those of you that were watching the visual, it's called kitty wax, because you can't, red vinyl I should say, but you cannot see through the vinyl. So they called it kitty vinyl for a lot of those, kitty records. They were all in colors, yellow and red and whatnot. But anyway, let's just give it a spin here. The Buccaneers, January 53 on Southern. It's called Dear Ruth. That's a rare 45 there by a group called the Buccaneers. They're out of Philadelphia. January 1953, they're on the Southern label. Ernest Sonny Smith on lead, their song entitled Dear Ruth. Now, Eddie Heller would purchase the masters of this record and released it in April of 1953, but on the Rainbow label, but it only came out on a 78, did not come out on a 45 on that Rainbow release. But then the group signed with George Goldner's Rama record label for 2 more releases, rare records by the Buccaneers on the Rama label. And this song also covered by a group called the Universals in 63 on Ascot. It's a pretty nice version that they do on Ascot. I'll have to feature it here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. As we continue here, let's move into 1954 with a flip side from last week. As a listener, Daniel Kubacki, he requested the Gems last week, group out of Evanston, Illinois. Daniel requested the group's debut single. It was called Deed I Do, but I couldn't file this one back unless I featured the flip side. Again, it features the great Ray Pettis on lead. This one from June 1954. Give a listen to the Gems on Drexel. This is on red vinyl also, but you can see through this vinyl. But it's the Gems on Drexel. It's called Talk About the Weather.
When I'm alone, I can talk as a lover should. But with you, I'm no good. I talk about the weather. Oh, sit at home and make love to your photograph. But when you're near, I laugh. You talk about the weather. Did not like to say that you're sweet as a sugar cane. But when I start to talk, my heart gets caught in a summer's rain. Staying at night, writing down lovely things to say. But when you come my way, I talk about the weather. About the weather, talk about the weather, I talk about the weather, I talk about the weather.
That's the great Ray Pettis and the Gems there, June 1954. That's their debut single. Came out on the Drexel label. Drexel Records. Talk About the Weather is the name of the tune. Drexel would re-release this record maybe a couple months, 3 months down the road with the block print and the black vinyl, but they don't play as well as the red vinyls do. Well, that one's not a mint copy, but it's hard to find the record, period. Period. It's not an easy record to find at all. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. As we continue here, there is a playback issue on my it says a problem on my, are you seeing a problem on the stream? It says an issue, error occurred. Is that weird or what? I see something here called error occurred, please try again later. You guys see that on there or what? That is so weird. Anyway, you see an error there, or can you see the stream? No error, not here. Okay, it's showing on my thing that there's an error, maybe a copyright. Okay. All right. I hope they're not giving me a copy. They can't give me a copyright on that record. There is no way. No way they can. Okay, let's continue here. And how about a twin spin now up next for the Great Harptones? And first up is a flip side from last week. Featured their 6th of 8 on Monte Bruce's Bruce label, was called Oobity Oobity Ooh. Now, the flip side is a nice rendition of a standard from 1947. Now, you may know Lenny Welch's version. Had a big hit, I think, in 1963, a big number 4 national hit with this tune. But I love this version. It features the great Willie Winfield on lead. We go back to November 1954 for the Harptones. Harptones on Bruce and their rendition of the tune, Since I Fell for You.
You are gone and left me all alone. You took my love and made me leave my home.
Well, you made me leave my happy home. You took my love and now you're gone. Since I fell for you,
Fell for you,
love brings such misery and pain. I guess I'll never be the same since I fell for you. Well, it's too bad and it's too sad that I'm in love with you. You love me, then you snub me. But what can I do? I'm still in love with you. Well, I guess I'll never see the light. I get those blues most every night since I fell for you.
Those are the Great Harptones. Whoops. Great Harptones there with a great rendition of that tune, Since I Fell for You. Willie Winfield on lead, November 1954 on the Bruce record label. That's their 6th of 8 for Bruce Records. I said I have a twin spin here on the Harptones. Now, Leo Rogers, he would acquire the Bruce Records catalog. They started... Monty Bruce ended up selling his company to Leo Rogers, and he let all the artists go except the Harptones, and he brought the Harptones over to High Weiss's High Weiss, the owner of Old Town Records, and Weiss would record the group. And they put out a classic, their first record. It was called Life is But a Dream, that came out on the Paradise label. But listener Joe Shacatano requested the follow-up, and this tune written by Raul Sita, the manager of the group, and again with the great Willie Winfield on lead. This was a number 3 record, believe it or not, on WILY out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So this is by request, going out to Joe Shacatano, November 1955. The Harptones on the Paradise label, featuring the true first press of this. It's called My Success, parentheses, It All Depends on You.
happy, to be sad, to be good, to be bad. Those are the questions. All the answers depends on you.
Wondering every day
just when you come my way.
I tell myself most every night
You'll come home soon and make things right. Don't return, don't want to live my life, my love. It all depends on you. My life, my love. It all depends on you.
my life, my love.
That completes our that grainy press. Some of those Paradise 45s are grainy wax, unfortunately, but it didn't sound so bad. That's a mint copy too, at least it looks mint there. Harptones there, Willie Winfield on lead, November 1955 by request for Joe Shacatano, came out on Paradise Records. My Success, parentheses, It All Depends on You. That was the true first press of that, the longer title. Second presses of that just say It All Depends on You, so check your copies on that 45. Johnny G here for a Saturday evening as we continue here next Saturday. Program note, it's my All 60s show, so that's a different show. I feature records from 1964 through 1969, another era of my collection, so gives you 50's guys and early 60's guys a break. When am I going to get a break? But anyway, I love playing the records here, as I don't know if it shows that much, but I do. And I want to say that I'm glad that listener Joe Moore is back home. Thank you, Joe, for tuning into the show. I'm glad that you're home and doing better, and we're all wishing you the best of health as we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Now, last week I played a request for Joe Shacatano by the Casanovas, a group from High Point, North Carolina. It's their debut single on Bess Berman's Apollo label. Joe requested the tune That's All, which featured Chester Mayfield on lead. The flip is a pretty cool up-tempo. It features the baritone of the group. His name is William Samuels, and he was the older brother. He was the brother-in-law of Lowman Pauling, who was a member of the Five Royals. Yes. This one from March of 1955. We flip over. That's All by the Casanovas on Apollo. You get this tune. It's called Are You For Real?
You told me his name was Jack, your name is Jill. Tell me, pretty baby, are you for real? Told me that the deal was real, so real, and that you were out for thrill. For thrill. Yes, you told me that you loved me, and I thought that the deal was real. Shoo-be-doo, baby, I need your love. Ba-doo-day, 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 I need your love. Swear by the stars above. Say, baby, I need your love. 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 Swear by the stars above. Darling, forget about Jack. Remember this, Jill. If you can really love me, then I know the deal is real. Yeah, you told me that the deal was real. So real. And that you were down for thrill. Yes, you told me that you love me. Now I know that the deal is real.
So, baby, I need your love. 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 Where my stars above. So, baby, I need your love. Baby, I need your love. Baby, I need your love. Baby, I really need your love. Baby, I need your love. Swear by the stars above. So, baby, I need your love. Baby, I need your love. Baby, I need your love. Baby, I really need your love. Baby, I need your love. Swear by the stars.
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. The Casanovas there. That's their first of 6 on Apollo Records, March 55, a song entitled Are You For Real? Johnny G can tell you my 45s are for real. I only feature original vinyl 45s, and I'm so temperamental about the turntables. I'm telling you, it was driving me crazy. I hope they're sounding okay, and hope that the music is coming across loud and clear, and you don't hear any buzz, and it sounds good even though there's scratches. You know, everything can't be mint. I wish it was. But anyway, we continue. Here we are in the year 1955, and I'm sure many of you are familiar with a song called Valerie, as done by Jackie and the Starlights back in 1960 on the Fury label. But the lead singer there, Jackie, prior to recording with the Starlights, he sang lead for a group called the Five Wings. They had 2 releases on Sid Nathan's King record label, and let's give a listen to their second. And Jackie of Jackie and the Starlights, his name was Jackie LaRue. He is the lead singer on this tune. We go to March of 1955. The group is called the Five Wings. The Five Wings on Sid Nathan's King record label. The song is called Teardrops Are Falling.
Teardrops are falling. Teardrops are falling. Teardrops are falling out my eyes. Teardrops are falling. I wonder why. Teardrops are falling. For you made me cry. You made me cry. My heart is aching, almost breaking. If you hear me, come back to me. Teardrops are falling, and you make me cry.
Yes, teardrops are falling, falling from my eyes. Yes, 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 you made me cry. Yes, you went away. Stayed oh so long. Come back, my dear.
My heart is aching, almost breaking. If you hear me, come back to me. Teardrops are falling, and
those are the Five Wings. The Five Wings, March 1955. That's their second of two on the King record label. Teardrops Are Falling. And I guess the beginning of the crying, as done by the lead singer there, Jackie LaRue. And I think this group also backed up, I have them backing up Billy Nelson, I think, on Savoy. The Five Wings are backing him up on a Savoy release. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. Hope you're digging on the tunes here. And if I didn't have my coffee. I didn't get a chance to run down and get my coffee. I was going to be too late. So anyway, I'll have to drink it at 1 o'clock tonight. Anyway, let's continue here. Here's a request for listener Cheryl Morgan. This group out of Brooklyn, New York. Cheryl requested the debut single, their debut single on Monte Bruce's Tetra label, and features Buddy Lucas on saxophone. We heard him earlier with the Gone All-Stars. Ken Burrell on guitar, and Bobby Gregg, he's doing the drums here. Here are the Neons. Features Frank Vignari on lead. And this is by request going out to Cheryl. This charted number 6 on WILY out of Pittsburgh, PA. Go back to June 1956. The Neons on Tetra and their tune called Angel Face.
Angel face, I love you so. Want you to know. Don't ever go. Angel face, come back to me. Please hear my plea. Please love me.
Morning and night I think of you, wishing that you were near. Since you've been away, I've hoped and I prayed,
But I don't see anything clear. Angel face, I love you so. Want you to know. Don't ever go, 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 go. Angel face, I love you so. Want you to know. Don't ever go.
morning and night I think of you, wishing that you were near. Since you've been away, I've hoped and I prayed,
But I don't see anything clear. Angel face, come back to me. Please hear my plea. Please love me, 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 me.
Grainy 45s here for a Saturday evening. Those are the Neons by request. For Cheryl Morgan, June 1956, on the Tetra label. Angel Face is the name of the tune. First of two they had on the Tetra label, would be re-released again as a B-side to Golden Dreams, a release from 1960 that came out on George Golner's Gone record label. Of course, George Golner assisting with the distribution of those Tetra releases. And originally, for you collectors out there, the true first press of that is on the Pink Tetra label, which I have somewhere. I wasn't going to go looking for it, looking for a lot of these records. I need some elves to come here and help me file these 45s in order. I have them by boxes, but they're boxes with alphabet letters in the front of them. There's E, M, and they're not even in order. So they're all over the place. Johnny G losing his mind. But let's continue here now. On last week's show, I opened up the Vinyl Treasure show with a group called the Parakeets on Thomas Robinson's Atlas label, played the B-side of their first of two on Atlas called The Rain Starts to Fall, a cool up-tempo to open up the show. Now, it was listener Darrell Letts asked if I could play the flip side before this one goes back down in the no humidity basement, so we're going to send this one out to listener Darrell Letts in our YouTube chat. April 56 now. For the Parakeets on the Atlas label, it's called I Have a Love.
Luigi, wow, 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 do wow, Luigi, wow, 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 do wow, Luigi. I have love, do wow, Luigi. I have love, true wow, Luigi. I have love.
Those are the Parakeets there by request for Darrell Letts. I Have a Love. Flip side of The Rain Starts to Fall, April 1956 on the Atlas record label. And that group also backed up Vic Donna and the Parakeets, also with releases on the Atlas label. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening, and we move into 1957. Lots of records out of this year. It's funny because I'll have a lot of the requests come in and a lot of the flip sides. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 records. Wait, is there 13? Let me check the page here. 12, let me see. 13 13 records in a row from the year 1957 in different months. So let's open up here with a flip side from last week, as Rick in Philly requested the Love Letters out of Long Island, New York, and their only release that came out on the Acme label. The song was called Ooey Nelly, which was the intended B-side, and flip side Daryl asked Johnny G to play the A-side. Of course, it's a great A-side, I say. Features Eddie McGruder on lead, and he also co-wrote the tune. This is going out to Daryl, April 1957. These are the Love Letters on the Acme label. It's called Walking the Streets Alone.
At night I walk the street alone, hoping that you, my love, will come back home. And in my heart, in agony and pain, hoping, my dear, to hold you just once again. Don't write me letters, dear. Don't call me on the phone. Just knock on my door and say, Daddy, I've come back home. No more walking the streets alone. Baby, if you will, please come back home. Yes, dear, my heart in agony and pain. Please, please, my dear, won't you come home
That group called the Love Letters. Love Letters there with a very eerie sound, but a great sound. I say April 1957 by request for Daryl Letts. Walking the Streets Alone came out on William Henry Miller's Acme record label. Not many releases on the Acme label, but they're not that easy to come by. The easiest one probably would be the Ebb Tides, maybe. Is it the Ebb Tides that might be the easy one to find? I'm trying to think what else is easy to find on the Acme label. And not the Sunbeams. That's not an easy one to find. Johnny G babbling on here. Let's continue here. And speaking of Rick, who requested the Ooey Nelly side, which is a great up-tempo, this is a request for Rick in Philly. And we head down to New Orleans, Louisiana for this singer-songwriter and guitarist, began recording back in 1948 for the Bluebonnet label. I have releases by this artist on Specialty and on Ace Records. Now, Rick requested his second of three on Johnny Vincent's Ace label. This is a song he wrote from September 1957, going out to Rick in Philly. Frankie Lee Sims on the Ace label. It's called Hey Little Girl.
But you come to see me sometime. Yes, you may be a woman, but you come to see me sometime. You better watch yourself, cause I'm liable to make a change of mind. But don't get mad at me, I ain't gonna get mad at you. But don't get mad at me, I ain't gonna get mad at you. Because I cannot do no more than woman let me do. But hey, hey, little girl, hey, hey, little girl, hey, little girl, hey, hey, little girl, hey, hey, little girl. Yeah, she's all right with me. You can be a good little woman, I'd be glad the rest of your life. I never love my baby, man, indeed I do. Yes, I love my baby, man, indeed I do. But all I want you to tell me to let your heart be true.
That's a cool rocker there, September 1957, Frankie Lee Sims. By request for Rick in Philly, song entitled Hey Little Girl. That one came out on Johnny Vincent's Ace record label, second of three he recorded for the Ace folks. As we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Now, last week I played a request for listener Daniel Kubacki by the Personalities, a group out of the Bronx, New York, featured 12-year-old lead singer Ralph Molina. Now, Daniel requested the A-side called Whoa Whoa Baby. Let's flip it over here. It's a nice ballad, and it's with Tico Wilshire and his orchestra. This one from September 1957. The Personalities on the Safari label. It's called Yours to Command.
I'm yours to command.
My life and my love, dear, I place in your hand. They're yours and yours only. I'm yours to command.
Kitty Lee's here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Those are the personalities. Personalities there. 12-year-old Ralph Molina on lead, September 1957. Yours to Command is the name of the tune. It's on the Safari record label. We continue here in 1957, and here is a request for listener Daniel Kubacki, as this group this group was formed by Alfred Gatewood, who was previously a member of the Cufflinks that recorded for the Dutone label. And you know the song Guided Missiles. Well, Alfred Gatewood wrote that tune for the Cufflinks, and he formed this group that I'm featuring here while stationed at formed the Cufflinks while stationed at the Air Force Base in Sacramento, California. Then in 1957, he was transferred to McGuire Air Force Base in New Jersey and formed this group called The Rivals. And Philly DJ Kay Williams heard them perform and signed them to his newly formed Darrell label. And this is by request for Daniel, 1957, The Rivals. The Rivals. The tune was written by Alfred Gatewood. He's not on lead. He doesn't remember who the lead singer was on this, but I think he said he was tone deaf, something like that. But anyway, these are The Rivals on the Darrell label, going out to Daniel. It's called I Must See You Again.
I must see you again.
As by request for Daniel Kubacki there, those are the Rivals, 1957 release on the Darrow label, I Must See You Again. I like that record, I do. Was just, showing you that I have two presses of this. I have a real thick press, which is, more of a lighter yellow, and this thinner press that's like stone mint, that plays perfect, that looks like somebody might have repressed it. They were able to get the original stampers and sometimes the original paper and to repress the record. Sometimes it's not that easy to do, to try to replicate the paper from the 1950s and put out, but there's a lot of dishonest people out there, believe it or not. Unless you're going to sell it as a bootleg, those Ratio boots were pretty nice because they were made from 78s. So the sound quality was excellent on those. And those were legitimate bootlegs that I think people have in their collection now that do go for some bucks now, believe it or not, they do. But that's a cool tune by the Rivals. I played a cover of this last week by the Vines, a request for Nat Papagallo. The Vines also cover this in 61 on the CJ label. Johnny G here for a Saturday evening as I'm losing my breath here, and we are in the year 1957, and here's another request, this time for Katie of Vintage and Vinyl. You got to check out her YouTube page, Vintage and Vinyl. You can check it out on YouTube for all those lots of antique memorabilia, and now she's into record collecting, and she's learning some stuff from Johnny G, and she requested this 45 on the Bahari Brothers modern label by the Cadets, aka the Jacks, and it features Aaron Collins on lead. This is going out to Katie, March 1957, the Cadets on the modern label. It's called Wiggle Waggy Woo.
Well, baby, when you say you're mine for real, you don't know how good it makes me feel. My heart goes wiggy waggy woo. My heart goes wiggy waggy woo. My soul goes ziggy zaggy too. 'Cause I love you. When you say I'm sweet as I can be, I love to hear you talk that talk to me. My heart goes wiggy waggy woo. My heart goes wiggy waggy woo. My soul goes ziggy zaggy too. 'Cause I love you. And when you kiss me, honey, I'll start feeling funny. Wham! Right off the bat. You say you miss me too, but I'm not with you. I go for all kinds of stuff like that, 'cause I love you, baby. When you call me on the phone, just to tell me that you're still my own. My heart goes wiggy waggy woo. My heart goes wiggy waggy woo. My soul goes ziggy zaggy too. 'Cause I love you. You say you miss me too when I'm not with you. I go for all kinds of stuff like that, 'cause I love you, baby. When you call me on the phone, just to tell me that you're still my own. My heart goes wiggy waggy woo. My heart goes wiggy waggy woo. My soul goes ziggy zaggy too. 'Cause I love you. 'Cause I love you. 'Cause I love you.
As by request for Katie of Vintage and Vinyl there, those are the Cadets, a.k.a. the Jacks, March 1957, on the modern record label. Wiggle Waggy Woo is the name of that one. Katie, where'd you hear that record? Where did you hear that record? On one of their LPs, maybe? I don't know. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. We continue here. I told you I have lots of records out of 1957. And here's one for my number one California listener, Matey Campboy, as we head to Vivian Carter's VJ record label. label out of Chicago, Illinois, for Pookie Hudson and the Spaniels. Now, Matey requested their 13th release on the VJ label, and the Spaniels, they lip-synced this song. Actually, I think both sides of this record. The A-side was called Crazy Baby, and I think they did the flip side. I read one of the books that they did on Dick Clark's American Bandstand. But Matey requested the ballad flip side. Again, the late Pookie Hudson on lead. This one from December 1957, the Spaniels on VJ. It's called I Lost You, going out to Matey.
I lost you.
By request for Matey Campboy, the Great Spaniels, Pookie Hudson and the Spaniels, December 1957 release. Vivian Carter's VJ record label, I Lost You, is the name of the tune. What a great tune that is. And to see them, I would love to see them just sing to their record on American Bandstand. I definitely would. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. Hope you're digging on the cool 45s out of my collection. It's all 1950s and early 60s. 45. Send me an email if you want to make a request at vinyltreasures@aol.com. And if I have the 45, it's been amazing that I have these records. I don't have them all, or I do have them and I can't locate them because I have to go through like 150,000 45. Some of them are in some type of order now, but not all. The 60s stuff, if you give me like a record from 1968, I can see that I have it checked off, but it's much more difficult for me to find those. But I am putting those in order too. But I need to retire is what I need to do. Almost ready to. I can tell you that much. But let's continue here. More from 1957 as we head back to Los Angeles, California, and a request for Rick in Philly. and it's this group's only release. Came out on Dootsy Williams' Duto label, co-written by the second tenor of the group. His name is Alvin Johnson, and the lead singer, his name is Otis Rabun. And this is the intended A-side requested by Rick in Philly. I thought this said Charlene when I looked at it originally, but it's Aileen, A-L-E-N-E. It's Aileen, Sweet Little Texas Queen. This one from February 1957 by a group called The Souvenirs. The Souvenirs on the Duto label, going out to Rick. As by request for Rick and Philly, The Souvenirs, February 1957 on the Duto record label. Aileen, Sweet Little Texas Queen is the name of that one. Charlene, I thought they were talking about you on that one there. Johnny G on a Saturday evening here. Hope you're digging on the tunes. Got to say hi to Nick Nicola. Nick Nicola, who was in the Johnny G's YouTube chat room, and I remember hearing Nick Nicola and Rich Kriz as doing guest spots on the R&B Review. Always used to love to tune into those shows with all the cool, rare records that they used to feature out of their collection. And that was a lot of fun learning about the music back then. And those two guys had some collection here. Thank you, Nick, for joining the chat room. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We had to New Haven, Connecticut for this next group, as this 45 initially came out in April of 1956 on Thomas Robinson's Atlas label. But Robinson would lease the master of this to Jerry Blaine in hope his distribution company, which was Cosnet Distribution, I think was the name of it, would kind of give this disc greater distribution, thus becoming a hit. But alas, it never happened for them. But it's still a great two-sided 45, no matter what label you have it on. If you have it on the Atlas label or you have it on the Josie label. I'm featuring the Josie release here. I have this on a 78 too, which plays pretty nice. But it features Leroy Gomez on lead. We go back to August 1957 for this Josie release for the Four Haven Knights and their tune called In My Lonely Room.
Ba ba doo, ba my lonely room, I drift in reverie back into the times I held you tenderly. Darling, what should I be in my lonely room? In your lonely room, as the shadows fall, I close my eyes and dream. Then I hear you call from far away, it seems. Darling, what should I be in my lonely room? Lonely room. Wish you were here, speaking in a love tone, holding me close, my dear, that I wouldn't feel love. Oh, dreams go too soon on a mystic sea. Long lay me again. It seems I'll always be. Why, oh, why should I be in my lonely room? Lonely room. Wish you were here, speaking in a love tone, holding me close, my dear, then I wouldn't feel love. Oh, dreams go too soon on a mystic sea. Long lay me again. It seems I'll always be. Why, oh, why should I be in my lonely room? In your lonely room. 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 In your lonely room.
Those are the Four Haven Knights out of New Haven, Connecticut there. With their tune, In My Lonely Room, featured on the second press, the Josie label, August 1957 release there. Leroy Gomez on lead. Initially, this record came out on the Atlas label about a year earlier, April of 1956. Johnny G spinning original vinyl 45s. We continue here. Let's stay with a twin spin on the Josie label. And this is a girl group here. Actually, a request from my number one California listener, Mady Campo. I have no information on this group, but they sound awful young. They really do sound awful young. And one of the writers, actually on both sides of this disc, is Paul Winley. So he probably discovered this group somehow. Paul Winley, of course, the owner of Winley Records and all those cool Paragons and Jesters and all the cool music that came out on the Winley label. But this is by request going out to Mady, February 57, the Angelettes. They're called the Angelettes on Josie Records. It's called Mine and Mine Alone.
That you're
As by request from Matey Campboy there, the group called the Angelettes. February 1957 release on Jerry Blaine's Josie record label. Mine and Mine Alone is the name of the tune. Your Mine and Mine Alone every Saturday night from 10 to 1 a.m. here on Top Shelf Oldies. Let's continue here. And last week I played a request for Joe Shacatano. He requested Eugene Mumford and the Serenaders, and on the Whiz record label. Now, Eugene previously was a member of the Larks, but formed this group and called the Serenaders, and did one session for High Weiss, which resulted in this release on the Whiz label. Joe requested the side When You're Smiling, and this side was requested by listener George Tompkins. So we're going to send this one out to George Tompkins. This one co-written by the lead singer Eugene Mumford. We go to March 1957 for Gene Mumford and the Serenaders on the Whiz label. The song is called Please Give Me One More Chance.
Please give me one more chance to say that I love you. Please give me one more chance and say you love me too. Love me too, darling. You and I were meant to be together, oh, together through toils and trials and any kind of weather, forever. But give me one more chance to hold you in my arms. Just give me one more chance to cherish all your charms, darling. Maybe someday I'll have to say, oh, what a fool I have been. But give me one more chance to say that I love you.
Darling, maybe someday I'll say, oh, what a fool I've been.
Please give me one more chance to say that I love you.
As by request for George Tompkins there, Eugene Mumford and the Serenaders. March 1957 release on the Whiz, W-H-I-Z label. Please Give Me One More Chance. What a great tune that is by Gene Mumford. We continue here. I told you I had a bunch of records from 1957 that everybody requested here. And here's a request for Rick in Philly as this singer. He's from Cleveland, Ohio, began singing in the late 1940s as Little Jimmy Scott. And he recorded on many different labels. I know I have quite a few. He recorded on the Savoy label, but Rick requested his first of 6 on Sid Nathan's King label. This tune written by Rose Marie McCoy and James Allister. This one from October 1957. This is going out to Rick in Philly. Jimmy Scott on the King label. It's called What Sin?
What sin have I committed? What crime am I guilty of? Where did I go wrong, dear? How did I lose your love? All I did was love you with all of my heart. What sin have I committed? Why are we drifting apart? You stand there and tell me goodbye without even telling me why. Is there someone else, my darling? Or do you love to see me cry? What sin have I committed? What crime am I guilty of? If I'm wrong, I'll admit it. Only don't take away your love.
As by request for Rick in Philly there, that is Jimmy Scott. Used to be a Facebook friend of mine until he passed away. I forget what Charlene did have the year that he passed away, but October 1957, Jimmy Scott on the King record label. What Sin is the name of the tune. Johnny G's Sin is owning thousands of 45s. Johnny G's Addiction, that's my sin. Addiction to 45s is what it is. Let's continue here, and we continue with the requests. And here's one for Joe Shacatano. You all know this group from Harlem, New York, and after leaving Bobby Robinson's Whirling Disc record, they signed with George Goldner's Gone label for 2 releases. Now, Joe requested their second release. Features the great Earl Lewis on lead. We go back to December 1957 for Earl Lewis and the Channels on the Gone label and their tune called Altar of Love.
Altar of love, altar of love. At the altar of love, we vow to be true. She said someday we'll marry, but she took someone new. Someone new, instead of you. All her love words, she said, were lies from the start. Though she hurt me deep, I still love her with all my heart. With all my heart, with all my heart. Since she walked out on me, but the torch will be burning for her love eternally. As I kneel at the altar, dear one up above, tell her I'll wait forever. of love. At the altar of love. At the altar of love. At the altar of love.
As by request for Joe Shacatano there, Earl Lewis and the Channels there, their second release on the Gone record label, the follow-up to That's My Desire, Altar of Love, December 1957 release. I bought that record. Actually, I found two decent copies for 10 cents a piece at the 303 Drive-In in Orangeburg, in Rockland County in Orangeburg, New York, and they're both slightly, well, this one is less off-center, just on this side for some reason. I don't know what it is, the batch of 45s, maybe whoever had these two records, two copies, finding two copies, why did they get them? Maybe they were off-center and somebody at the pressing plant gave them to whoever that was, but just was unusual, but a great record, and I know Matey likes Earl Lewis and the Channels. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. If you're new to the broadcast, please subscribe to my YouTube page, and also please click the like sign, and also subscribe and click the bell to get notifications when I'm on live. Hopefully, when I retire someday soon, I'll be able to just whip up a show in the middle of the day. Wouldn't that be great, in the middle of the day instead of late at night when I'm done with work? But anyway, let's continue here. We continue with the request. This time for Daniel Kubacki. We go back to Jerry Blaine's Josie label. And if you look on this 45, it mentions musical director Bill Gordon. I guess that's Bill Bass Gordon, I'd have to say. And where's John Clemente when you need him? Anyway, the writer on this is Marlene Jenkins. And could this be Marlene Mack, who recorded with the Janettes as Marlena Mars? So where's John Clemente when you need him? But I'm not sure. But I have to tell you, I have to apologize. Does anybody else out there have this record here by the Teenettes? Because no matter how many copies I have of this record, they all play pretty horrible, because I think they were all pressed on recycled vinyl. The records look mint, but they play horrible. This one is the best one of the three that I have. Now, I don't have the promo copy. I definitely want to get a promo copy of this, because I bet you that probably plays better. But these stock copies, they are not good. So I have to apologize in advance, I'm telling you, for the poor sound quality. But anyway, it's from December 1957. This group is called the Teenettes. It's going out to Daniel on the Josie label. It's called My Lucky Star.
My lucky star.
by request for Daniel Kubacki. I'm telling you, I apologize for that. That is recycled vinyl, and that hopefully the promos play better. If there should be a promo on that record, there has to be. Teenettes, though, they're called the Teenettes. December 1957 on the Josie label. My Lucky Star is the name of that one. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Now we move into 1958, and on last week's show I played a request for Rick in Philly. He requested the Avons. The Avons, a group out of Inglewood, New Jersey, and their fourth of seven on B. Caslin's Hull label. The song was called What Will I Do, parentheses, If You Go Away, and was listener Darrell Letts requested the flip side. Again, it features Bob Lee on lead. This one from February 58. Give a listen to the Avons on the Hull label. It's called Please Come Back to Me.
Come back to me. I love you desperately. I've been in misery since you've been gone. I'll lie for you. I'll even die for you. If you say you love me too, like I love you. This part of mine, you're telling me all the time. But this girl is fine, and she's not all mine. Oh, can't you see what this would mean to me? If you tell me you love me too, oh, please come back to me. I love you desperately. I've been in misery since you've been gone. La 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 she's not all mine. Oh, can you see what this would mean to me? If you tell me you love me too, oh, please come back to me. I love you desperately. I've been in misery since you've been gone. Come back to me. Come back to me. Come back to me.
I wonder if that's where the Elegance got that la la from the Little Boy Blues. Sounded very similar, didn't it? But anyway, that's by request for Darrell Letts, the Avons, February 1958. Bob Lee on lead. Please Come Back to Me came out on the Hull record label. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. We continue here. We head to Baltimore, Maryland for this next request for Joe Shacatano. Now, this group's first release came out in 1957 on the Herald label, and they followed it up with this release on the Lane label. They're called the Sonnets. The Sonnets is by request for Joe Shacatano. March 1958 on the Lane label, the Sonnets with Angel of My Dreams. There you go.
Oh, angel of my dreams, won't you be mine to have and to hold, to love, love, love and enjoy? Oh, angel of my dreams, won't you please be mine? A boy needs a girl, and girl
As by request for Joe Shacatano, their March 58 release for a group called The Sonnets. The Sonnets on the Lane label, Angel of My Dreams. That's a great tune, have to say. We continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Now, last week, I played a request for Evan Blatt. Evan requested a group called The Pyramids, a group out of Brooklyn, New York, played the A-side of their release on the Shell label. It was called Ankle Brace, and I think it was Daryl Letts and Andrew Turner. They asked me to flip this 45 over, so we're going to send this one out to Andrew and Daryl. This one produced and arranged by Billy Muir, who is also playing guitar on this. We go back to November 1958, The Pyramids on Shell. It's called Hot Dog Dooley Wah.
My baby is the best cook in this whole wide world.
Hot dog, dooley wah, let me be. Hot dog, dooley wah, let me be. Shoestring macaroni, sago beans. That's why, darling, I love you so. Hot dog, dooley wah, let me be. Shoestring macaroni, sago beans. That's why, darling, I love you so.
That's going out to Andrew and Daryl there, The Pyramids, November 58 release on the Shell label, Hot Dog Dooley Wah, for you collectors out there. The first press is on the gray Shell label. If you have like that lime greenish shell, or it says Original Pyramids, that is the 61 press, I think, that Times Square Records, Slim was selling in Times Square Records. But the one that I'll show you in the YouTube video there is the first press. We continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Now, over the last couple of weeks, I featured both sides of the Prodigals' first release on the Falcon label. Marcia was one side. It was backed by a song called Julie. They were a group from Clarksburg, West Virginia. Now, listener George Tompkins asked if I could play their second release, the follow-up to that Marcia, and another great two-sided 45. This was a self-contained group, by the way. They played all their instruments, and the guitarist was exceptionally good. His name is Gerald Folio, but the lead singer on this, his name is Chuck Collins. So by request, going out to George, August 58, the Prodigals on the Abner label. Falcon had to change their name to Abner. These are the Prodigals on Abner, going out to George. It's called Won't You Believe?
Won't you believe that I love you? Won't you believe that my love is true? Won't you say that you love me? And in my misery, since you've left and gone,
do is oh so wrong. Won't you please come back to me? And in my misery, now you're back and I'm relieved. Some may doubt, but I believe that I would give my life for you. That's why I love you like I do.
As by request for George Tompkins there. That's actually the intended B-side for the Prodigals. Why won't you believe me? That one there on the Abner label, August 1958. Chuck Collins is on lead there. The A-side is a song called Darryl mentioned, Vanjie, a cool up-tempo tune there. I think the Seymour Simon sold me that copy. That was Seymour Simon's copy of that 45. Johnny G babbling on here. Let's continue here. Another 45 I played last week was a request for Rick in Philly, was by Henry Clement. Henry Clement, also recorded as Little Clem and the Dewdrops. This came out on J.D. Miller's Zinn label out of Crowley, Louisiana. Now, Rick requested the side called I'm So In Love With You. But let's give a spin to the flip side before this one goes back down in the no humidity basement. For some reason, this song reminds me of the Chantels Maybe. Somewhere, I don't know, maybe Johnny G losing his mind, but let's give it a spin here. This one also came out as Henry Clement and the Dewdrops. I don't know if I thought I had that one, but I couldn't find it in my box. I did find this copy. Anyway, let's give it a spin. Late 1958, Henry Clement from the Zinn label. It's called Please, Please, Darling.
To God up above, that I always have your love. Now that you're here, everything is fine. But while you were gone, I nearly lost my mind, 'cause I love you. Yes, I do. I pray to God up above that I always have your love. Now that you're here, everything is fine. But while you were gone, I nearly lost my mind, 'cause I love you. Yes, I do.
I think that piano in there reminds me of Maybe by the Chantels. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, Henry Clement there and supposed to be the Teardrops. Late 1958 on the ZYNN label, Please, Please, Darling is the name of the tune. And Reed wants me to check if that's RCA stamped. We'll check that. Up next, this artist hails from Indianapolis, Indiana. Had 2 releases on Jerry Herman's Note label. That's the same label that the Students recorded I'm So Young and Every Day of the Week, and their other release too. What is their other release? My Vow to You. Yes, if I draw a blank. But his real name is Ronnie Haig, but he changed it to Ronnie Haig, Haig, or is it Hedgie? I don't know how. I think it was Ronnie Hedgie, and then he changed it to Ronnie Haig. I don't know, but he wrote both sides of this 45, and let's give it a spin here. March 1958, Ronnie Haig and a group on the Note label. It's called Traveler of Love.
Traveler of love, darling, you are that traveler of love. Won't you stay with me, baby? Don't be a traveler of love. Traveler of love. Oh, now the time has come for to be as one together, just you and I. There's no other one for me, dear. Don't be a traveler of love. Traveler of love. I know you've traveled round and never settled down. Such a traveler of love. I want you, I need you, you're everything to me. How can I explain my love when I'm in love with a traveler of love, darling, you are that traveler of love. Won't you stay with me, baby? Don't be a traveler of love. Love, 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 love. Traveler of love, traveler of love, traveler of love, traveler of love.
As Ronnie Haig and a group there, March 1958, first press on the Note label. Traveler of Love is the name of the tune, and actually that was the intended B-side of the 45. This record would be picked up by ABC Paramount excuse me, in 1958, and then they re-released it again in 61. So it came out twice on the ABC Paramount label. I don't know what triggered it in 61. Maybe there was another song, maybe the flip side. I think it's kind of a rockabilly tune. You Keep Calling Me Baby. I think that's the name of it. Anyway, Johnny G losing his mind here. We are in the year 1958. We head to the Bronx, New York for Johnny Louise Richardson and Joe Rivers, better known as Johnny and Joe. And I played the B-side of this maybe last October, I think, and it's been sitting in the box since. I played the original version of Why Oh Why. I might have opened up the show back then in October. But let's give a listen to the intended A-side. They sang this song on Dick Clark's Beach Nut Saturday Night Show in 1958. It was written by Zell Sanders. She's the mother of Johnny Louise Richardson. But we go to June 1958. This is on the Chess label, Johnny and Joe on Chess. It's called Why Did She Go?
I had a lover who cared for me. Now that she's gone, oh, where can she be? What did I do? Oh, why did she go? Calling the squad.
As Johnny and Joe on Leonard Chess's Chess label, June 58 release. Why Did She Go is the name of the tune there as we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. And this up next, a request for listener Daniel Kubacki. Now, Daniel requested the flip side of this record, I think back in November of 2020, and then he asked me to play the flip side here tonight. This group formed while attending William Penn High School in York, Pennsylvania back in 1957, and their debut single came out on the Chess label in 58. Then with the help of Dick Clark and their appearance on American Bandstand, they had a big hit with their tune called Down the Aisle of Love on the Red Top label. Also came out on Hunt Records for national distribution. They followed it up with this release here that features Roberta Hayman on lead. This one from September 58, going out to Daniel Kubacki. These are the Quintones. The Quintones on the Hunt label. It's called What Am I to Do?
I received your letter, and I felt oh so bad to know you found someone new. Please tell me, what am I to do? What am I to do? When I first met you, darling,
As by request for Daniel Kubacki there, those are the Quintones. Quintones, September 1958 on the Hunt record label. What Am I to Do is the name, name of the tune. No, Reed, that is the same group on the Chess label, but not the same group on the G label. That is a different group and a very rare record. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening as we continue here. And last week I played a request for Joe Shacatano by the Tempos. The Tempos on the Rhythm label, a song entitled Promise Me from March 1959. The Tempos were really the El Dorados minus their original lead singer, Perkle Lee Moses, someone by the name of Marvin Smith. He became the lead singer of the group. They recorded on Academy and they recorded on the Rhythm label. I think it was Daryl that asked me to flip this 45 over, so this is going out to Daryl here. March 59, the Tempos, aka the El Dorados minus Perkle Lee Moses, featuring Marvin Smith on lead. The A-side was called Promise Me. This is the B-side on Rhythm called Never Let Me Go.
Baby, 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 ya la 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 la. I love her now, baby. I don't need, baby. I want you, my lover. Don't wanna know other lovers. Never, never let her go. I had a girl in high school that played me for a fool. Now that I have a new girl, to me she's the best in the world. Love her so, never, never let her go. I was a fool for such a long, long time, till this new love came and changed my mind. Oh, doodly-wop-bop, never let her go. 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 Oh, doodly-wop-bop, never let her go. I was a fool for such a long, long time, till this new love came and changed my mind. Oh, I love her, my baby. I don't mean maybe. I want you, my lover. Don't wanna know other. Well, I love her so. Never, never let her go. La 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 la. La 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 la. Whoa. Let her go. Never let her go. Whoa. Never let her go.
Oops. On that side, he seems like he's trying to sound like Perkle Lee Moses, but it is not. Those are the Tempos. The Tempos there with Marvin Smith on lead. Tempos there on the Rhythm label. Never Let Me Go. March 1959 by request for Daryl. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. As many of you know, that Charlene, she is so important to the Vinyl Treasure Show here in helping me prepare with the information that I give over the air. And I really couldn't do the show without her. I'd just be sitting here playing records and just saying, here's one from I don't know what year it is, but it's on Rhythm. Wait, I can't see it. So Charlene's been very instrumental with helping Johnny G with the show and keeping my database. She does a lot for the show, and I appreciate all that she does. And so does a new listener to the show, Amnon, who discovered about a couple of weeks ago, he discovered the show, and he's listening to my archives, and he's sending me emails, which is pretty cool, of all the records that are his favorites on the show and making comments. And I appreciate that. Thank you, Amnon, for that. And he's letting me know information about groups, etc. And I get my information from many sources. I do. But he sent me an email and he said, you know, Johnny, Charlene does such a wonderful job for you. I found a song that I think that you should send out to her, and dedicate it to her because she's such a big part of the show and for all the listeners here. So this song by this singer from Buffalo, New York, on the Whiz label is going out to Charlene, and she did the research on this too. This label is Whiz Records out of New York. It was owned by Monty Freed, Irving Spice, Jack Walser. The tune written by Tony Sperry, who was the leader of the Quarter Notes backing band and had releases on their own. This charted number 2 on WINE in Buffalo, New York. And the lead singer here, his name is Neil Darrow, and the sax player on this is Johnny Shieldo. And Neil has other releases on Cameo and Tamarick, American Admiral, Four Corners of the World, Swan, and Capitol. But anyway, this is Amnon suggested that we dedicate this song to Charlene for all the work that she does for Johnny G here and the listeners on the Vinyl Treasure Show. So we go back to May 1959 for Neil Darrow and with the Quarter Notes on the Whiz label with a song called Charlene.
Charlene, your eyes will tell me when you love. I wish that you would hold me close. Tell me I'm in your dreams. Charlene, Charlene, oh, oh, oh. Tell me, do when can I spend some time with you? No matter what you choose to say, I'll always come your way. I am a man with arms so strong to hold you near me where you belong. You are so precious, you're everything I need. Oh baby, please come see. Oh Charlene, you have forgotten many things. At graduation we changed rings. You said that you'd be mine. Oh, oh, Charlene, be mine.
That's going out to Johnny G's administrative assistant, Charlene Whiteside there. And requests for Amnon. Amnon Duop requested that tune, May 1959. Neil Darrow with the Quarter Notes on the Whiz label, song entitled Charlene. I have to check my Buffalo book, because I know there might be some more information in there. I was corresponding with someone on Facebook. I listed that Net Roman record on Sahara, and I got some I got some pretty cool information from someone in upstate New York in Buffalo that knows all about the music scene back then, and I'm pretty sure the quarter notes are in that book. I'll have to check it out. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening spinning original vinyl 45s, and last week I played a request for Nat Papagallo by the Tams, a girl group out of Philadelphia, and the Tams came out on the Mink record label. They were first known as the Stereos, but had to change their name to the Tams, and I played their tune that originally came out in November of '59, Memory Lane. You may have it as the Hippies on the Parkway label, but that was not always the A side of the record. The A side, that was the B side of the record, I should say, not always the A side. How dumb was that statement? But the B side was called Memory Lane. Originally, I think, Daryl, you wanted me to give it a spin here. This song that I'm featuring, Teenage Kids, was the A side, but somebody flipped it over, and then the record became the A side eventually. But let's give this one a spin here for Daryl. November '59, the Tams, aka the Stereos, aka the Hippies. But this is on the Mink label. It features Carol Devine on lead. And I think the other side is the better side, but this side is a cool dance record, I guess, because they mention a whole bunch of dances. But let's send this out to Daryl here. November '59, the Tams on Mink with their tune called Teenage Kids.
Dum da ba dum da ba da ba da ba da ba dum da ba da ba da ba da ba da ba dum da ba da ba da ba da ba da ba da. Teenage kids, they rock and roll, dance like red, they got control. Teenage kids are full of pride, love and life and starry-eyed. Teenage kids, they watch their step, lift their lids, they're full of pep, using slang and dance so that teenage kids sure have a way. Hey, do the cha-cha, hey, do the stroll, hey, do the pop, rock and roll, hey, do the walk, hey, do the crawl, hey, do the shake, rock and roll. They just can't wait till they meet the crowd. They do a dance that they know how. The music's gotta have a certain beat, 'cause they've got the rhythm in their dancing feet. Teenage kids, they talk so bold, but they've got a heart of gold, full of life and on the ball.
Teenage kids, we love them all.
Hey, do the cha-cha, hey, do the stroll, hey, do the pop, rock and roll.
That's going out to Daryl Letts, November '59, the Tams, a.k.a. the Stereos, a.k.a. the Hippies on Parkway. Teenage Kids is the name of that one. Carol Devine, she's the lead singer. Featured it on the Mink label, and then when Parkway put it out, originally the first presses came out as the Tams, but then they had to change it to the Hippies because the Tams on ABC Paramount gave them a problem with that one. Johnny G here on a Saturday night. We're spinning original vinyl 45s. We continue here. Here's a request for my number one California listener, Matey Campboy. We stay in the year 1959. This group is from Brooklyn, New York. With their first two releases, though, on Ben Smith's Extra label, they had a kitty lead singer. His name was Johnny Marcy, and he was doing lead on tunes like Patricia and You I Adore. Then they added Ronald Jackson to the group, and he was the brother of Jester's lead singer Adam Jackson, and Ronald wrote this tune, and he is doing lead here from 1959. This is going out to Matey Campboy. This was a big record that Gus Gossett used to play all the time. That's when I first heard this record, the Young Tones on Extra for Matey. It's called Can I Come Over?
Can I come over? Can I come over? I wanna be friends. I'll make you love me the rest of your life. My love was blind and I couldn't see just how much you meant to me. Do I still have a chance to start our old romance? What I'll give to have you again, just the way we used to be. I need you so, how much you never, never know. There are no words in this world that can explain my feelings. I really go for you. No one can make me feel the way you do. Boom, 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 boom. How long will it be before you come to me? There is so much you don't understand. I just want to be your man. I just want time to change your mind. Oh, time to change your mind. Come on, let me change your mind. Oh, baby, darling, you're so fine. I wanna hear you say one more time.
That's by request for my number one California listener, Matey Campboy, the Young Tones there. The Young Tones with Ronald Jackson on lead. He's the brother of a Jester's lead singer, Adam Jackson. 1959 release on Ben Smith's Extra record label. The Young Tones with Can I Come Over? As we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, we head back to Detroit, Michigan, for this singer signed with Sid Nathan's Federal label as a teen in 1957. His debut 45 was an answer song to the Bobettes' Mr. Lee. It was called I'm the Jivin' Mr. Lee. He would go on to have a total of 7 45s, 7 releases on Sid Nathan's Federal label. Let's give a listen to his 6th. This tune written by Joe Seneca. Joe Seneca, actually, who was an actor, by the way, but also a singer and songwriter. And this one here from August 1959. Let's give a listen to Kenny Martin. Kenny Martin on the Federal label. The song is called Is It All Over?
I looked for you down the lonely streets, even the places we used to meet. Is it all over for you and me? Is it all over for you and me? Our daily walks and our we'd never part. And like a fool, I gave you my heart. And now I'm alone, just crying the blues. And little girl, it's all because of you. I sit by the phone, hoping you'd call. I opened the door, and I looked down the hall. Is it all over for you and me? Is it all over for you and me? The plans we made, vowing we'd never part. And like a fool, I gave you my heart. And now I'm alone, just crying the blues. And little girl, it's all because of you. I sit by the phone, hoping you'd call. I opened the door, and I looked down the hall. Is it all over for you and me? Is it all over for you and me?
Oh, that was a cold ending. Was not prepared for that ending. I like that song there by Kenny Martin and girl group there, August 59 release. A song entitled Is It All Over? I think the flip side's good too. Ask Me, I think it is, on the other side of this, which is another good tune. But anyway, let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Now, last week I played a request for Evan Blatt on Ray Dobard's Music City record label out of Berkeley, California, by a group called the Crescendos. And December of 1960, we move into 1960 now, and the Crescendos version of A Teenage Prayer. But let's flip this 45 over at, because I like this side too. It features Wanda Burt on lead. This is the second of three for the Crescendos on the Music City record label. We go back to December of 1960. The Crescendos, Wanda Burt on lead. The song is called I Don't Mind.
I don't mind if it is a starless night. I don't mind if there's no moon inside, as long as you're with me. I don't
Johnny G getting caught here. Anyway, that one, excuse me, that is the Crescendos, Wanda Burton, the Crescendos, December 1960 release on the Music City label, I Don't Mind, the flip side of A Teenage Prayer. Let's continue here. We have one more 1960 here as we go to a label called Latini Records, that the lead singer of the let me see here. Got to read this here. Billy Mann is the lead singer of this next group called the Glens. And let's see here. Johnny G reading this thing. This 45 was second pressed on the Sudden label in 1961, but first came out in September of 1960 on the Latini label. This group consisted of Billy Mann, Renee Beard, Carl White, and Cleo White. They were called the Glens. These are the Glens here, with Billy Mann on lead, the Glens on Latini, and the song is called Cherish My Love. Okay.
She came from up above. I gave her all my love. She was the treasure of my heart. Cherish my love. Love me forever. Cherish my love, and I leave you never. All that I know is I love you so deep in my heart. Whoa, cherish my love. Don't go away. Cherish my love. Don't leave me astray. All that I know is I love you so deep in my heart. When I see you, I want to hold you. When you're away, I feel so blue. But now you're with me, and I can love you, and my love grows stronger every time we meet. Cherish my love, don't go away. Cherish my love, don't leave me astray. All that I know is I love you so deep in my heart. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Cherish my love. Whoa, whoa,
That's actually a request for Evan Blatt there. I messed that up. Johnny G messed that one up. So it happens from time to time. But they're called the Glens. The Glens, by request for Evan Blatt, September 1960 on the Latini record label Cherish My Love. You can get it also on the Sudden label. Came out in 1961 also. That is the second press as we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. But up next, a request for KT of Vintage and Vinyl, as she requested actually a pretty big hit. This is actually the biggest hit for the group, made number 3 on Cashbox, number 2 on Billboard, and originally this group was known as the Heartbeats, but but then they changed. They became Shep and the Limelights, and this one from March of 1961. And Shep and the Limelights on B. Castlin's Hull record label. I have it on the pink styrene. You know how Johnny G does not like styrene 45s, but this is by request for Katie, Shep and the Limelights on Hull, and the tune called Daddy's Home.
You're my love, you're my angel, you're the girl of my dream. for waiting patiently. Daddy's home, Daddy's home to stay. How I've waited for this moment to be by your side. Your best friend wrote and told me you had teardrops in your eyes. Daddy's home, Daddy's home to stay. It wasn't on a Sunday, Monday and Tuesday went by. It wasn't on a Tuesday afternoon. All I could do was cry, but I made a promise that you treasure. I made it back home to you. How I've waited for this moment to be by your side. Your best friend wrote and told me you had teardrops in your eyes. Daddy's home, Daddy's home to stay. Daddy's home to stay. I'm not 1,000 miles away.
That's by request for Katie of Vintage and Vinyl. That's Shep and the Limelights, not the Heartbeats. I'm reading on the fly here because I've been so busy, didn't rewrite a bunch of these things. So you're going to have to excuse me if I make a mishap. And you have time to research it there. I have to look real quick to read it here, so it's okay. But anyway, that's Shep and the Limelights there, March 1961 on the Hull label with a great tune there, Daddy's Home. Even though it's a hit, doesn't mean it has to be a lousy song, but it's a great tune. Thanks for requesting that, Katie. Great tune that is. And you want to get that on the Pink Hull label. Also comes out on red, and you can also get it on white label too as we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Up next, a request for Joe Shacatano, very rare record here out of Queens, New York. This is the group's only release on Morty Craft's Forum label. The group consisted of Eddie Savin, Roy Weinstein, Jerry Lubin, and Artie Shaw. Collectively, they were known as the Delrons. This is a rare 45 here from 1961. Give a listen to the Delrons. This is going out to Joe Shacatano. Song entitled This Love of Ours.
Time goes by, each and every day, but my love for you, my darling, will never fade away. True love affair. of this love of ours. This love of ours. This love of ours. This love of ours.
That's 1961 release there, going out to Joe Shacatano. They're called the Delrons. The Delrons on the Forum label. This Love of Ours is the name of that tune. We continue here. Almost time to sign off here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, but I want to get these requests in. Actually, this is an extra request for Matey Campoy, because I told her that I couldn't find a couple weeks ago around, I think it was my February 14th show, or it was, she requested it on February 14th. She requested someone by the name of Danny Sandoval, and I was like, I think I have this record, but I couldn't find it. It wasn't filed where it was supposed to be, and I looked through a whole bunch of S boxes, and I couldn't find it. But last night, looking for another request, I found this. So Matey gets an extra record, a bonus record here for this artist, this singer from Los Angeles, California. His name is Danny Sandoval, Sandoval, and it came out on the Cashmere record label out of Hollywood, California. It's from 1963. So, Matey, you have an extra request here. Danny Sandoval on Cashmere. It's called Hardly See My Way. For Matey. That's by request from Matey Campboy there, Danny Sandoval. 1963 release on the Kashmir record label, Hardly See My Way. And I know when she requested, I said, I think I have it, but I don't know where it is. But I found it, so as a pleasant surprise from Matey Campboy. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening as we wind down here. Now, last week I played a request for Reed King by Little June and his Januaries, but Reed requested the intended B-side, was a song entitled Hello, but it was Darrell Letts that asked me to play the intended A-side, and it features Little June is really Little June Claude Johnson. I should say he's the new lead of the group. No, actually, he's not the new lead. He's just older from when he was Little June. But anyway, let's give this one here. Send it out to Darrell, 1963. Little June and his Januaries on the Salem label. The ballad side is called Hello, but this was the A side. This was the A side that they pushed. A song called Burgers, Fries, and Shakes as Dave the Rave gets hungry.
Zooming down the highway, doing 95. I took a look to my right there, saw Sam. Yeah, now that good and milkshake man, you're inside. Oh, hey, it's moving sad. Every place that you go, you're bound to see a Sam. You take a look until you find exactly what you like. I like. Yeah, now that good and milkshake man, you're inside. Dishwashing days are over. What we buy, boy? Burgers, fries, and shake. Yeah, we like burgers, fries, and shake. Yep. Let's go now. Dishwashing days are over. Zooming down the highway, you make it to the drive, and your baby says, look up out there, I see the sign again. Yeah, now. Hey, now we're inside. Say, man, I want 4 hamburgers, all the french fries, and a couple of shakes, cherry. 4 hamburgers, a couple of shakes, and all the french fries. Coming up. Hold on, hot dog, baby. Man, you did hot dog without good day. Glass of water. No bad. Give me something, baby.
That's by request for Darrell Letts. Little June and the Januaries, 1963. Burgers, Fries, and Shakes on the Salem record label. That one's burgers from my mother's making some Italian biscotti downstairs. I smell some cake because my brother Bobby's supposed to come up from Long Island tomorrow. So we'll see. But he's bringing Greek food. He has a Greek restaurant down there in Rockville Center. So, or I don't know if it's from Rockville Center, but he's bringing some Greek food tomorrow. So we'll see. Let's continue here. A few more requests. Here's another request for Matey Campboy. She wanted to hear this wonderful ballad by a group called The Chances, but in reality the Chances are the Solitaires, but with a different bass, the bass of the Willows. His name is Freddie Donovan. He was a member of this group. There's a dual lead here, that being Milton Love and Bobby Baylor. This one produced by Buzzy Willis, who was also a member of the group. We go back to February 64, by request for Matey Campboy, The Chances, a.k.a. The Solitaires, on the Roulette record label. The song is called What Would You Say?
Tell me,
what would you say if I ask you to be mine forever
As by request from Matey Campboy there, those are the chances. February 64 release, Morris Levy's Roulette record label. What Would You Say is the name of the tune as we continue here, as we wind down here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. 1, 2, I guess 3 3:45s to go before we sign off here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. And last week I did play a request from Matey Campboy, this a great group out of Chicago, the Shepherds. She requested a song called Tragic with the Echo. Their re-recorded version of Tragic on Vivian Carter's VJ record label from June of 1962. Well, let's flip it over because I like both sides of this 45. This one from June 1962, we flip over Matey's request called Tragic by the Shepherds. You get this tune, song entitled Come to Me.
A starry night, oh, and the moon is so bright. I want you to come to me. Oh, darling, won't you come to me? And yeah, somewhere in the night, I really should be holding you tight and kissing you with all my might. Oh, darling, won't you come to me? And oh, having you so near me and loving you so dearly would make my life worthwhile. And when you say you love me, this world would see so clearly that I'd be a lovesick child. So cherish my love, oh, with the stars up above. This night that I told you of my need of your love. Oh, I want your arms around me now, and your sweet lips. Oh, give me one sweet kiss. I need your kiss. Having you so near me and loving you so dearly would make my life worthwhile. And when you say you love me, this world will see so clearly that I'd be a lovesick child. So cherish my love, oh, with the stars up above. And this night that I told you of my need of your love, oh, come to me. Darling, won't you come to me? Come to me this starry night. Come to me, won't you? Come to me, won't you? Come to me, won't you? Come to me, won't you?
Yes, George, I have to agree. Sounds like Millard Edwards on lead there for that one. Same lead that did Island of Love on by the Shepherds. They're the Shepherds again. Great tune. Their song entitled Come to Me from June 1962 on VJ Records. 2 more 45s to go here before we sign off here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Up next is girl groups from Baltimore, Maryland. It's a request for Matey Campboy, a cover tune. These gals, sisters Anita and Sheila Ross, Terry Jones and Ronnie Brown. Their first 2 releases were on the Chancellor label, but then they followed it with one on Warner Brothers, and then the rest were on the MGM record label. You know their biggest hit, a song called It's Gonna Take a Miracle from 1965, but this one is earlier. This is their first of 9 on the MGM record label, and it's a request for my number 1 California listener, Matey Campboy, and it's a cover of the Chantels' 1957 release on the End record label. This one produced by Teddy Randazzo. It features Sheila Ross on lead by request for Matey. September 64, the Royalettes on MGM and their rendition of the tune, He's Gone. As by request from my number one California listener, Matey Campboy. Great rendition by the Royalettes of that Chantel's tune, He's Gone. Came out on the MGM record label. That was their first of 9 on MGM from September 1964. That's going to do it for Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show. I want to thank you for joining Johnny G, listening to original vinyl 45s out of my collection. You want to get in touch with Johnny G, send me an email at vinyltreasures@aol.com. If I have the request, I will play it. I might look for it, because I have been looking for some of them. I mean, look for them out in the wild is what I've been doing. But anyway, I have a lot of them. So, not all of them, but I do have a lot of them. So thank you so much, those of you that have been making the requests. So keep them coming. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. And I really enjoyed doing the show. Finally got the turntables up, so I'm happy with that. I don't know about this YouTube video because it looks like it shut down at 1 o'clock, 1 hour into the show. I do have OBS does save the video on my machine, so I might be able to upload it if it didn't work, but I'm hoping that it does. So we'll see. I don't know what to make of it. But anyway, that's going to do it for tonight. Please take note that next Saturday is the last Saturday of the month. That means it's my all 1960s show. So I'll be playing records from 1964, maybe a couple in 63 to 1969. So that's a totally different show from my 50s and early 60s. So if you're into that music, please join me next Saturday beginning at 10 o'clock right here on Top Shelf Oldies and also on YouTube. But we're closing the show tonight with a request for Cheryl Morgan. Really not one of the common Del Shannon songs, but this one did chart regionally. This was his 6th of 10 releases on the Big Top record label. This charted number 23 on KORL out in Honolulu, Hawaii, of all places. From June 62, the closer tonight is Del Shannon with his tune called Cry Myself to Sleep. And Johnny G's not going to be crying myself to sleep, hopefully. That I'm not going to be doing. But thank you all for tuning in tonight to the Vinyl Treasure Show. Thank you, Charlene, again for all your help, as I really couldn't do the show without you. And that cool song that we dedicated out to you, Charlene. That was really a treat. But anyway, tune in tomorrow evening for my buddy Dave the Raven, his Relics and Rarities show. Depends what his mood will be when Rutgers loses tomorrow. Oh, I didn't want to say that. But if Rutgers loses tomorrow, Dave's going to might not even want to do the show. But if they do win, then maybe Dave will be a happy camper. We'll see. But you never know. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in again to the Vinyl Treasure Show. As I said, I'll be back next Saturday. And tune into all the shows here on Top Shelf Oldies. There we have DJs every night of the week beginning at 8 o'clock. But I'll be back next Saturday at 10 o'clock for more original vinyl 45s out of my collection. Everybody have a safe and happy week as Johnny G's losing his breath. And I will see you next Saturday. Just want to say, everybody, so long.
The party's over, everybody go home. I'm sorry, but I'd like to be alone. 'Cause every time I see her, I have to weep. I'm gonna cry myself to sleep. I threw this party, never thought you'd come by. All she wants to do is see me cry. And when I see her, I just have to weep. I'm gonna cry myself to sleep. Comes around just to break me up. So everybody, won't you please go home? The party's over and I'd like to be alone. 'Cause when I see her, I just have to weep. I'm gonna cry myself to sleep.
Okay, folks, that's gonna do it. Turntable sounded good, right? Like I said, I'm worried about this. I'm worried about this YouTube because it's got that error. It's called error playback. It says here, an error occurred. Please try again later. Playback ID. Learn more. Then it stopped recording at, I don't know, it's got like 19 minutes and 34 seconds. So I don't know how that's going to turn out. So there might not be a video for you guys to check. You're going to have to go to vinyltreasures.net to at least listen. But who knows? We'll see. Here's that He's Gone by the Royalettes on MGM, and that over there. And I had this, and this is for Cheryl Morgan. Gives me these requests here on the Big Top label. There you go. It's a promo. So anyway, that's going to do it, folks. Thank you again. Thank you, Charlene, again for all your help. And thank you all for tuning into the Vinyl Treasure Show. I had a lot of fun. I always do on Saturday. I get to listen to, I didn't even call Barbara tonight. And she called me up at 9:14. She was like, "What's the matter? You don't call me anymore?" I said, "Barbara," I said, "I was way behind. I got up at 1 o'clock and I fell behind." And so she was like, "Okay." I said, we'll do something tomorrow." Anyway, all right, folks. That's it. Johnny G's got to go relax. I will see you guys next Saturday. If not, I'll see some of you in 2 weeks. Again, send me your requests at vinyltreasures@aol.com. Also, click the like video, and also subscribe to my video. Very important with Facebook, with YouTube. See, it's time to go. So everybody take care. I'll see you next Saturday night. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.